Okay,
Okay.
you are on, Mr. Rapino.
Okay. It is what time is it? It is 6:31, and we are uh, beginning the City of Sandy Oaks Park Advisory Committee meeting. Uh, uh, Notice is hereby given that a meeting of the Sandy Oaks Park Advisory Committee will be held on Tuesday, October 6, 2020 at 6:31 p.m. Uh, It'll be a Zoom meeting held by telephonic video conferencing for the purpose of considering the following agenda items. All agenda items are subject to action. In an effort to advance the public health goal of limiting face-to-face meetings, uh, also called social distancing, to slow the spread of coronavirus, there will be no in-person public access to the meeting. The public may participate in this meeting by using the link, and it says the link, and I won't read it out, and meeting ID, and it goes through all the telephone numbers and everything. The public will be permitted to offer public comments telephonically or by audio as provided by the agenda and as permitted by the presiding officer during the meeting. Written questions or comments may be submitted to the chairperson up to 2 hours before the meeting by emailing myself at the City of Sandy Oaks. And I did not get any uh, emails with any questions. So I'll call the meeting to order and we'll take a quorum call. And I'll call, there's myself, Mayor Ball, Alderman Fillinger, Raylan McDonald, Ann Garza, and Ruth Carvajal. And so I think we have our quorum. So,
Yes, we do.
And as I say, there are no citizens to be heard. And I'll go to immediately to agenda item 3, discuss impossible action on the status of erecting the sunshade for the playground. And I don't think we've come to any agreement on when we would start that action. Do we want to set a time and a date for doing that now, or do we want to wait?
I think we need to have a discussion on that subject.
Okay.
Tom, Ann, Ray Lynn, and I actually pulled the shade itself out and did some measuring and looking at the assembly instructions. We're not going to be able to utilize it pegged down the ground like the original design was. And if we did peg it down to the ground like the original design, I believe it would be vandalized like so many other things. To get clearance for entry and everything else, the sides are going to have to be lifted off of the ground. I looked at what it would take to do that. The length of that thing is 50 feet, and there are 12 tie down points on each side. So there's 24 tie down points. Looking at using pipe to raise the edges and tensioning devices and concrete to anchor everything. The best number I can come up with is about $2,400 in material to utilize that. And that's if we can get John Crickmer to come down and dig the post holes. Uh, the instruction says 2 men can put it up in 2 hours, but looking at it and actually handling the fabric, I think that's a very optimistic view of assembling the thing. So, I don't know how you want to take it from there.
So I have a question
Yeah,
about that, because I wasn't there
Yes,
when you
ma'am.
guys worked on that.
Yep.
What do you think of having it cut down into panels that could be used as like sail shades and strategically placed between trees, or maybe extend a corner post with a taller pole, if that's even an option, and tying it off, figuring out where the shade needs to be depending on where the sun is?
I think the support structure for the a sail shade would probably exceed the numbers I'm talking about to raise the sides up for clearance and to get them away from the vandals. And quite honestly, I'm pretty good with tension structures, but I've never dealt with the sail shades.
Okay.
I mean, but I don't know enough about sail shades to take that on.
So are we saying, go ahead, Charles, I'm sorry.
No,
Didn't mean to interrupt.
I'm just at the stage, so go ahead, sir.
Are we saying that we don't have the expertise to go ahead with this project, that we need to get somebody that maybe needs to look at this from a more learned?
That would be one approach. I'm quite confident that we could, like I say, build a structure to each side that we would be able to tension off of. But I've not been able to get any numbers that are going to be less than $2,400.
Yeah. And if we broke it up to do shades, we'd have to cut it, and I think that brings another problem. And because of the way it's laid out, I mean, that great big long thing, it would have to be sectioned in some way.
Well,
here, let me offer this. I don't know
Yes,
how
ma'am.
many of you are on your computers where you can see the screen I'm sharing.
Yeah, I can see it.
I can see it.
Mayor.
Okay,
Yeah.
so here's an option. If you look at some of these prices here, these really aren't too terribly bad in price. And I don't know that cannibalizing the unit that we bought, it's a massive piece of fabric for sure.
Yeah.
Yes.
But could that possibly be erected?
I have shades around.
Who said that?
I have shades around my pool.
Around which one? Your pool?
It's me. It's Ruth.
You have the,
I have,
you
no,
have
I
around
have
your
shades
pool?
like that around my fence.
Ah,
No, I have shades like that. No, not on my pool. Around my fence for privacy.
Uh-huh.
but that fabric is like, it's woven. So as soon as you cut it, it's just gonna run and tear.
Oh, okay.
Oh,
Is it rectangular or square to where we'd be able to tension it off on just four corners if we had big posts, Charles?
Uh,
It's very long and,
it's a huge piece and
yeah,
uh, re- actually requires the uh, there are some telescopic poles that come with it, and it would require those to be in place to support it. And I do agree because I you know I I've been a sailor in my life with real boats with real sails, and it's like a sailcloth. The edges of it get so much stress they have to be reinforced, and that fabric I don't see a way we could we could cut it and reutilize it at all.
Well,
I agree.
what I'm thinking is then we can repurpose it at the municipal complex.
I would agree with that. If we have it in an area where vandals would have to make a real effort to get to it, I would feel a lot more comfortable.
Either that or in the, as a covered area for parking vehicles or whatever in the maintenance yard. I mean, we can repurpose it for something else. And then
Yes.
perhaps look at a sunshade solution like this. It's relatively inexpensive by comparison. Go ahead.
Mickey, we have one of those triangular ones that we put up over our pool, and we've got it hooked between three 4x4 posts, and it holds up pretty well.
Remember, on the playground, it's going to have to go up pretty high. How high do you have it? And the higher it goes up, the wider it's going to have to be to cover the area.
Yeah, ours is, what is it?
It's 10 foot above ground.
It's 10 foot up above the longer metal posts or what have you, but that's what we've done over our pool.
Mm-hmm. So I forget how high that cupola is, Charles. Isn't it like 15 or 16 feet high?
Yeah, the highest point is 15 feet, and
Yeah, but we'd have to go up higher than that, I think.
the original plan was that single highest point would be out from under the shade anyhow, but the rest of the playground would be shaded.
Yeah.
So I think what we probably need to do is do another recon down there. And let's actually take some pictures and do some measurements and maybe a drawing. And let's figure out exactly what size we need to cover. And then also, where is the sun track? Where does it track? Are we getting any natural shade? Where do we need to focus doing that? And I think we could do something like these sail shades. And that company that we bought the pavilion from, they also do these kind of shades.
Yeah, I
Okay.
think I investigated them in the beginning, or a company like that, and it was very expensive, the sail shades. I think I had a brochure, but I will look and see if I still have it. And but this is really inexpensive, whatever this is. But we can look at them again and see what they want to do, if they could help us. But I think it's a good idea to go down again and look at it and see what we can come up with.
Okay, I'm on Google now looking, and we might be better off to look at these kind of things.
Yeah, I
We just
think
need
so.
to figure out how to secure it, you know, whether it's setting poles or if we can tie off an existing trees.
Yeah, well, but I don't think the trees around there
Or
are
close enough, I don't think.
close enough and high enough
Enough.
to support something, you know, high enough over the playgrounds. You know, possibly if the north end was lifted very high, we could tie off 1 or 2 points on a tree there. But I would agree with you. Let's recon it, and if you want to pull that out of the box again, we'll pull it out of the box. But it is a huge piece.
Yeah, it is.
I think we could probably repurpose it to protect equipment, you know, tools.
Yeah, I having, you know, seen the thing, I would agree. Maybe repurpose this would be the best idea, and look into a commercial structure that, you know, is engineered to do what we need to do.
I agree.
Well, I know Saturday is a busy day. I know Charles has 2 or 3 appointments already scheduled.
I do too, so.
And we're supposed to have a planning and zoning meeting on Saturday at 9. But as soon as that is over, I'm available to come down there. I think there's a plan to tour the animal shelter on Saturday. Charles,
Yeah,
is that correct?
Yeah, the Animal Control Advisory Committee is meeting at 10 o'clock to with Chris to inspect the new animal control facility and get a good idea of what we're going to need to do there. I think we're going to look at another building for a possible cattery. So, yeah, I expect to be there in an hour and a half, 2 hours. So,
And for those of you on the call who weren't on the ACAC call last night, the animal control facility is open. We have power and we have water. And we actually have dogs.
I'm excited about that.
Great.
well, you know, if you're interested, we will be having a tour at 10 o'clock Saturday morning.
So we can come too if we're not on the animal advisory.
Yeah,
You know, sure.
why not? Charles, why don't we plan for, say, maybe 2 o'clock to meet back down at the park, and let's do that recon and kind of regroup and see what we can come up with
but
if you're available.
I'll just be full of barbecue, but that's okay.
Okay.
So 2 o'clock.
Tom, is that okay with you? And
I think so. I somewhere in my mind I have a Saturday thing, but I can't place it, so the hell with it. So I'll be there too.
okay, Mickey, I'll get with Chris. We'll need to use a tractor to lift that box down, and it'll need to have the forks on it.
Oh, no. We're not doing anything with that box. We're just gonna go down there and we're going to map out and measure and try to decide what area we really need to cover.
Okay,
The
that's
last,
fine
the
then.
last time we opened it, it had snake eggs in it. So
Oh, good grief.
Rue has to be there.
Well, most of them had already hatched out.
yeah. So there were live snakes in it. No.
I-
Okay.
I think those were actually, you know, chameleon
Lizard.
little
Maybe.
lizard eggs.
No, no, they were pretty big. Well, let's move on to agenda item 4. Discuss and possible action on setting date to begin the development of the butterfly site. I guess it got cleaned up pretty well.
Oh, it looks real good.
Yeah.
Uh,
And so do we want to go down and buy some plants?
we can do that and start siting them on the on that little walking trail.
Yeah.
I've got a bill of material to set some beds to the south side of the behind the fence there. It's just about $200 worth of material to set some beds where we can put some plantings out there. And you know, we kind of walked it and like to set some specimen plants around the walking path. If you want to, we can take a look at that after we do the playground Saturday afternoon and make some more firm type decisions. Mr. Tomasini has said he can get hold of about 10 of one type of milkweed, and
Yeah.
I'd like to get the bed set up so we can get those in the ground also.
Okay. Sounds good. We'll do that. And then maybe at that time we can talk about when we can go down and get supplies too. I'll
Okay.
set a date for that. Yeah.
Well, I
Okay.
thought I was going to do it this weekend, but Saturday got all full. So,
So where are you
Okay,
getting
well,
supplies, Charles?
ma'am,
Where would you be getting supplies?
uh, landscape timbers at MG Builder Supply and some hardware at Home Depot.
So let me offer this because we have an account for tax-free at Home Depot.
Yes, ma'am.
Catherine can place an order so that they'll have it ready.
Okay.
If that works, you would just have to give her your material list, and then that way, you know, that could be part of the money that the city has committed to support this project.
Okay. Yeah, the landscape timbers well, difference in price wouldn't be $30. It might be best just to order it all at Home Depot and pick it up at one time.
Yeah, because they can
Uh,
always have it prepared and ready for you, and it's already paid for, and then somebody just needs to pick it up.
Okay. I'll talk with Catherine and have her list me as the authorized picker-upper. And
Is your pickup big enough for that, for everything you're ordering? If not, I can pick
I
it up.
got to pick up too.
well, I have a 7-foot by 12-foot trailer that
Oh, yeah.
I don't envision myself buying more material than I can put on that trailer.
Okay. I didn't think about the trailer.
Okay.
Okay. So we'll
I
go down
will.
after the. Go ahead, Charles.
Yeah, I will get with Catherine and set something up to. The rest of my this week, I'm pretty busy, doctor's appointments and such. So I will pick that material up next week, and the following weekend, maybe we can get down there and lay out some beds. And if we
Sounds
have
good.
if we have a list of plants, you know, maybe we can get set up on picking those up also.
Okie doke. Sounds good. All right, I'll move on to agenda item 5, discussing possible action on update options to resurface the playground. Now, this has been driving me crazy, looking for that bind it, wood pulp.
Yep.
I I went back to those people in Kentucky and asked them, if you can't ship that stuff here, can you tell us where you get it or how do you make it? And they wouldn't tell me. And so I heard the city, the Bear County Parks had opened up again. So I called them to see if I could get some help because I've seen some of their playground areas and whatever they, use to service their playground areas look pretty good. And so I called them, and of course I couldn't get through. I left a message, and I was hoping for them to call me back, and I'm waiting still. So
Yeah.
we're still in the a waiting period. And one thing I want to do though is John told me about a playground that he saw out in can't think of it right now, but I'm going to ask him if he'll take me out there and we can look at it and see if they use that Leon Valley playground area, if they use that bound wood pulp, and maybe there's somebody there that will talk to us about it. So I'm going to contact John probably tomorrow and see if he wants to take a ride out there with me and see if we can find out something about that.
Okay.
Or if their stuff, the stuff they use. Go ahead, Charles.
Yeah, I was just thinking, Chico Rodriguez has an assistant. Her name is Sylvia, and she might be able to direct you to a person you could actually talk to.
Sylvia,
Yeah,
do you have her? Do you have the number that they use?
I do not, but I will. I will text it to you.
Okay, that's good.
Yeah,
I'll call her tomorrow.
I've got Sylvia's number. Her last name is Mendelson.
Yeah, that's her.
And her work number is 210-335-2611. And then I have her cell phone number as well. It's 210-251-1535. And
That's
just
Sylvia Mendelson.
yes, and I have
Yeah.
that as MENDLESOHN. But you need to know that she and Chico are packing up, so I don't know how helpful she's going to be.
They're packing up.
Yeah, they're out. Chico's losing. He's not on the ballot.
He's not on the ballot. Oh,
No,
wow.
he's
Well,
not.
I'll try anyhow.
You might as well
I'll
ask.
try.
He's still in office.
I'll tell her I voted for Chico last time. What happened? Oh, no.
Well, I've never been able to talk to Chico, but Sylvia has always been pleasant and has helped me out with a couple of things. So
Well, I'll talk to her and see if she can point me in the right direction to somebody that will talk to us.
okay, but might get a little direction there, or hell, all the lines may be disconnected for all I know.
Yeah. Maybe somebody finally will call me back from the park. I left numbers and, they did say they were back to work, but they probably have a million messages.
Yeah, probably so, sir.
Yeah. Okay. That being that, I'll move on to agenda item 6 and adjourn.
All right then.
Charles, on another
Yes, sir.
note, I I was talking to the mayor.